a low, constant hum of traffic. The chatter of hundreds of conversations mixing together. Street vendors shouting prices. Music leaking from somewhere down the road. And above it all, a strange rhythm that feels like the city itself is breathing. Kuala Lumpur doesn't ease you in. It throws you straight into the deep end. One moment you're stepping out of a train station with a backpack and jet lag. The next moment you're standing in the middle of a neon-lit street surrounded by towering glass buildings, glowing billboards, and the smell of grilled meat floating through the humid night air. Some cities feel organized. Kuala Lumpur feels alive. Imagine a place where Chinese lanterns hang above Indian spice shops, where futuristic skyscrapers rise behind ancient temples, and where street food vendors cook recipes older than some countries. It's chaotic, it's colorful, and somehow it works perfectly. But here's the strange part. If you ask 10 travelers what the best thing to do in Kuala Lumpur is, you'll probably get 10 completely different answers. Some will say the skyline. Others will swear it's the street food. Some people come here for temples carved into caves. Others come for casinos floating in the clouds. So the real question becomes, if you only had a few days in this city, where would you even start? If you're enjoying exploring Kuala Lumpur with us so far, take a second to support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe for more travel adventures, and let me know in the comments which place in Kuala Lumpur you want to visit first. Now let's keep going, because the next spot might completely change how you see the city. The district where everything happens, there's a neighborhood in Kuala Lumpur where the energy never really drops, even at midnight, even on a random Tuesday. If you follow the glowing lights, the traffic, and the endless stream of people moving in every direction, you eventually arrive in a place locals casually call Bukit Bintang. Now, at first glance, it just looks like another busy city district. Tall hotels, shopping malls, restaurants stacked on top of each other. But give it 5 minutes and you realize something important. This is where Kuala Lumpur comes to play. Luxury hotels sit next to budget hostels. Backpackers walk past people wearing designer suits. Street performers dance on sidewalks while luxury cars roll slowly through traffic. It's like someone took Las Vegas, Tokyo, and Bangkok, mixed them together, and dropped the result right in the center of Malaysia. Travelers who visit Kuala Lumpur for the first time often make the same decision. They stay here, not because it's quiet, but because it puts you in the center of everything. Step outside your hotel, and you're already surrounded by food stalls, nightlife, shopping, music, and thousands of people from every corner of the world. But there's one street in this neighborhood that changes completely once the sun disappears. A street that locals whisper about when they talk about food. A place where the smell alone could stop traffic. And if you follow the scent of charcoal grills through the night air, you eventually find yourself standing at the entrance of a legendary road called Jalan Alor. So what exactly makes this street one of the most famous food destinations in all of Malaysia? The street that turns into a food festival during the day. Jalan Alor looks almost ordinary. Cars pass through. A few restaurants open their doors. Some vendors prepare ingredients. Nothing too dramatic. But wait until night falls. Around sunset, something strange begins to happen. Tables appear on the sidewalks. Plastic chairs multiply like they're being cloned. Grills ignite. And suddenly the quiet street transforms into something that feels closer to a festival than a restaurant district. Within an hour, the road is packed. Hundreds of people squeeze between rows of outdoor tables. Servers weave through the crowd balancing plates stacked with food. Steam rises from giant woks, while skewers of meat sizzle over open flames. If an alien landed here and looked around, it might come to one logical conclusion. Humans gather in large groups at night to worship grilled food. And honestly, that wouldn't be far from the truth. Jalan Alor is famous for one simple reason. You can taste almost every flavor of Malaysia here. Chinese-style stir-fry, Malay barbecue, Indian spices, Thai dishes, Middle Eastern shawarma, fresh tropical fruit. Everything appears side by side like an international food competition where nobody is trying to win. They're just trying to cook something unforgettable. Walk past one stall and you'll smell garlic shrimp sizzling in oil. 2 steps later, you're looking at noodles being tossed through the air in a flaming wok. Keep walking, and someone hands you a menu full of seafood that was probably swimming earlier that day. And then there are the fruits. Pineapple, mango, jackfruit, and of course, the most controversial fruit in Southeast Asia, durian. Some people call durian delicious. Others say it smells like a gym locker fighting a garbage truck. Either way, to try it becomes a rite of passage for travelers. But the real magic of Jalan Alor isn't just the food, it's the atmosphere. People from dozens of countries sit shoulder to shoulder at tiny tables, sharing dishes and laughing while scooters carefully squeeze through the crowd. It's messy, it's loud, and somehow it feels perfect. But once your stomach is full, another question appears. Because just a few blocks away sits one of the most famous shopping destinations in the entire country. A place so massive it almost feels like its own city, which raises the next mystery. Why do locals and tourists both keep returning to a mall called Pavilion? If you're enjoying exploring Kuala Lumpur so far, take a second to support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe for more travel adventures, and let me know in the comments which place in Kuala Lumpur you want to visit first. Now let's keep going, because the next spot might completely change how you see the city. The mall that feels like a city if someone told you Kuala Lumpur had a lot of shopping malls. That would actually be an understatement. The city has dozens, huge ones, luxury ones, underground ones. Some are so large you get lost inside them for hours without realizing it. But one of the most famous is right in the heart of it. It's called Pavilion. On the outside, the first thing you notice is a giant fountain at the entrance. Water dances in circles while crowds gather around taking photos. Above them, enormous digital screens flash advertisements bright enough to compete with the sun. At night, the lights reflect off the glass buildings, and the whole place begins to feel strangely familiar. Almost like Kuala Lumpur built its own version of Times Square, but with Malaysian flavor. Inside, scale becomes obvious. Designer brands line polished walkways. Luxury boutiques sit next to cafes packed with shoppers taking a break from walking miles inside the building. Yes, miles, because exploring Pavilion can feel like a fitness challenge disguised as retail therapy. Escalators stretch between floors stacked with fashion stores, electronic shops, bakeries, restaurants, and everything in between. If aliens were studying human behavior here, their research notes might read something like this. Humans travel thousands of miles to enter a giant building. They exchange small pieces of paper for clothing they already have. But the truth is people don't come here only to shop. They come for the atmosphere. The feeling of standing in the middle of one of the busiest places in Kuala Lumpur while the entire city moves around you. Step outside again and you'll see street performers entertaining crowds, luxury cars cruising slowly past, and travelers trying to decide where the night should go next. And that's where things get interesting, because just around the corner, there's a street that becomes the heartbeat of Kuala Lumpur after dark. A street filled with music, flashing lights, and people looking for a good night out. But before you walk there, there's one problem you should probably know about, because getting in and out of that area at night can test anyone's patience. So what exactly happens when thousands of people try to squeeze into the same nightlife street every weekend? Scene 5. The nightlife street, there's a narrow road hidden just a short walk from Kuala Lumpur, where the energy shifts again. During the day, it looks quiet, almost boring. A few restaurants preparing for dinner. Some bars with closed doors. Nothing dramatic. But when the evening arrives, Chongkat wakes up. Lights flick on across dozens of bars and pubs. Music begins to spill into the street. Within hours, the sidewalks fill with travelers, expats, locals, and anyone looking to turn an ordinary night into something memorable. One bar blasts electronic music. Another has a live band covering rock classics. Next door, someone is singing karaoke like they're auditioning for a stadium tour. If you stand in the middle of the street for a moment, it almost feels like you're walking through multiple parties happening at the same time. And this is where many travelers spend their nights in Kuala Lumpur, bar hopping, meeting people, trying local drinks, laughing with strangers who somehow become friends for the evening. But there's one thing that catches many visitors off guard: traffic. Trying to call a ride directly into Chongkat late at night. You feel like you're watching a turtle compete in a marathon. Cars crawl through the narrow street at a pace that makes walking faster. Sometimes it can take 40 minutes just to move a few blocks, which is why experienced travelers do something smarter. They walk a few streets away, then call their ride. Now here's another interesting detail for people visiting Southeast Asia. You won't be calling Uber here. Instead, most people rely on an app called Grab. Think of it as the region's version of Uber or Lyft. Download it before arriving, set up your account, and suddenly the entire city becomes easier to explore. But even with ride apps, there's still another option many locals use to avoid traffic completely. A transportation system that glides above the streets. Slow but surprisingly useful, which raises a simple question. What the easiest way to explore Kuala Lumpur isn't by car. If you're enjoying exploring Kuala Lumpur so far, take a second to support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe for more travel adventures, and let me know in the comments which place in Kuala Lumpur you want to visit first. Now let's keep going, because the next spot might completely change how you see the city.